Fortunes of War by Olivia Manning. I don't really choose the books I read on a systemic, good, scholarly basis, but as it happens, there is a thread, Allah Akbar or whatever, arranges the man in the sky, arranges things in an interesting, intriguing pattern. I've read The Madness of King George these days. I've read Loveday's Little Outing. Two crazy guys, if you will. And I just finished the note and the book, All Quiet on the Western Front, which is about general madness. And that has to do with one war, the first, which didn't end right and generated the conditions for this other. Fortunes of War takes place approaching and during the Second World War. Very interesting for this reader and us here. The action takes place for the first part in Romania, and it is treated in a rather objective way. I mean, one would worry. I felt a bit suspicious because foreigners I meet, especially those who spend time here, become, if you ask me, arrogant, self-sufficient and superior. They look down on even when, or especially when, they adopt some of the worst habits. For instance, there's some foreigners around here with bad habits, if you ask me. There's an American who's walking his dog, but like this, he's on a street 100 meters from here, and the dog is alone on another street here. That wouldn't do in America, and then even people here don't do that. I mean, it's, yes, perhaps they don't pick up after the dog, but anyway, they don't do it like, I mean, with a dog. Let's return to that war. Forget about this petty conflict. Olivia Manning is objective, as I said, and indeed she talks about the Iron Garden, whatever, the rulers, the parties, and crazies did around here. But there are also some interesting characters who are positive, if I may say. Sasha comes to mind, even if he's Jewish Romanian. I mean, it's not 100%, let's say, it's one of the good characters. Guy Pringle is interesting. He's the hero, married to the woman telling the story, perhaps an alter ego of Olivia Manning. Harriet Pringle, his wife. He's a man devoted to community work. He stays and teaches when many others leave the country, with the Germans taking over. But alas, he's ignoring his wife, and his wife is nearly involved in a few affairs. Incidents in the war make this impossible at certain stages. And we also have, not a multitude, a number of other interesting characters. I'm thinking Yaki, Prince Yakimov, who is complex. He does repugnant, despicable things, but he also has a nice side. Dear girl, dear girl, dear boy, that's how he addresses, and he's affable. And anyway, he pays for it. I will not say how, but he pays for whatever wrong he does. There's Professor Lord Pinkrose, played by Alan Banner, whom I'm beginning to like. I've read quite a number of his works, and I enjoy it. And then from Bucharest, the plot moves to Greece, then to Egypt, and it will be very interesting for you to read all about it in the book.